this is going to be a terrific game. Oh, nice shots.
Ball there, that does the job.
It's a beautiful shot.
That's hit beautifully.
The atmosphere here is electric. That'll certainly get him going.
You make me feel so alive.
India came here as the #1 team in the world. They've been beaten comprehensively. This victory takes them to a 3-1 series win over the Australians.
Got a feeling nothing is forever. Keep your voice low. The sun is high, but I wish I could bathe in.
Century number 2 for Haris Sohail.
Simply outstanding. 10 wickets in the match for Mohammad Abbas.
14 for Yasir Shah. What an unbelievable spell of bowling. 50 for the skipper.
South Africa and Pakistan at SuperSport Park at Centurion, just outside Pretoria. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the first Test match of 3 in the Castle Lager series. Yes, a full and impressive complement of games to come as the mercurial Pakistan side are the visitors. So much for the South Africans to contend with here. There's so much talent in this Pakistan side. The players arrived this morning after the enjoyment of yesterday, of course. This Boxing Day test is such a special occasion. Lots of gifted players there, not least, of course, that South African new ball attack of Dale Steyn and Kagiso Rabada. What about Hashim Amla? Will he find his best form again? Such a gifted player. These Pakistanis have a bit of everything. I'll tell you who's back. That's Mohammad Amir, the left arm quick. They sent him away to get his in-swing going, and sure enough, he's got that in-swing going, and they're very excited to have him in the ranks. Given Mohammad Abbas is injured, it's quite a thing for them to have Mohammad Amir back. Now, players of both teams are collecting in the 2 small dressing rooms behind me. I'm over at the main pavilion. This is the players' race down which they will come throughout this test match. Great occasion, of course, Boxing Day, and never before has the Boxing Day test come to the Highveld. So there's great excitement up here, particularly, I think, for Dale Steyn. Can you imagine? He's on 421 test match wickets. That is level with Sean Pollock. He takes another today. He becomes the highest wicket taker in South Africa's cricketing history. It puts him amongst the immortals of the game. With him is Kagiso Rabada, whose strike rate is almost unimpeachable. These are 2 great bowlers, and they're important cogs in this South African side, particularly with injuries to Vernon Philander and Lungi Ngidi. There is, of course, a magic to Boxing Day, as Crystal Arnold will now tell us.
Through the decades, the Boxing Day test has been a highlight on the South African cricketing calendar. First hosted on SA soil in 1952, and since 1992, this premier date has evolved with mixed results etched in unforgettable moments. From Jacques Kallis saying goodbye to Test cricket in his 166th Test, having scored 13,289 runs.
This is the stuff champions are made of. Farewell, King Kallis.
A match-defining century stand between Faf du Plessis and Dean Elgar against the West Indies in a drawn test in 2014.
Excellent job by Dean Elgar and Faf du Plessis.
To Philander's Pfeiffer against Sri Lanka 2 years ago.
Huge shout. Delight from the South Africans.
And straight away the finger goes up. Philander with the breakthrough.
Vernon Philander likes that one, and up goes the finger. Vernon Philander has been really good today. Oh, he's got him. It's a beauty. It's an absolute beauty. Vernon Philander is a sensational bowler. In the air and gone. 5-wicket haul, number 11 for Vernon Philander. Good grab.
It was also when Aiden Markram continued to make his mark in the first ever day-night test in South Africa.
Excellent innings by Aiden Markram.
Made that look quite easy.
Gets a maximum.
Beautifully played for Aidan Markram.
That's a wonderful stroke. Just love the way he doesn't hold back. Gives it his all.
The common denominator in the past, though, has been coastal venues. But this year, for the first time since readmission, the Proteas and their summer opposition will be on the Highveld, igniting the festive season. Here at the new home of the Boxing Day Test, SuperSport Park, it takes a team to make sure that come match day, it's all systems go.
Well, the moment the fixture list was, made public, we started thinking about it. For me to see Boxing Day here, I never thought that will happen. And it's a special moment for the organisation. To be entrusted for something like that is huge from CSA. So we just hope that a lot of people will come and support us.
From a planning point of view, it takes quite some time. We've got a couple of months to actually go through all your operations. The key meetings includes people like your traffic control, stakeholders like City of Tshwane in terms of operations, especially now that it's holiday time. So it puts things under the pump a bit, especially when you have to plan in terms of moving waste around, in terms of your traffic control, electricity. We've had lots of load shedding within the city as well. You have to work with provincial SAPs in terms of getting your risk categorizations, in terms of getting all the role players involved, in terms of your broadcast and from your technical point of view. It's quite intense to go through all of that. We have a formidable team that has done this for years.
From a reliable ticketing process overseen by Leah Creer, who has been part of the SuperSport Park team for over 15 years.
I just print and print and print, and it's coming out of my ears.
To a former cricketer who now manages the day-to-day operations of some of the most important areas in a cricket stadium that impact players directly.
Just really look after the players area, the match officials area, just to make sure that the Proteas in Pakistan are also very happy with what they get here from their point of view.
Making sure that the Proteas feel at home, away from home. We make sure that the change rooms are clean. We make sure that fridges are packed with water and soft drinks. Towels are ready for them. Also for arrival, meals are good. We cater for them. Once we're done, obviously, we move from the practice sessions to match days.
And obviously the ultimate is for both teams to be happy here at SuperSport Park.
And what of the all-important pitch?
I've got 6 ground staff that work with me. They've been here for quite a long time, so they're well experienced. Preparation for the test wicket started a few weeks ago. We prepared the wicket to give it a nice firm base. Normally 10 to 7 days before. Test match cricket is more bowler friendly. There's a lot of wickets that have to fall in order to get a result. So test match wicket not quite as hard and a little bit more grass to assist the seamers.
Whether it's 1,000 people in the stadium or 15,000 people in the stadium, you operate the same, you give them a great experience so that they come back again at the stadium.
It's a very family vibe. It's you need not a lot of people to be in the stadium to have a vibe and a bit of an atmosphere, so the players like playing here. Normally the weather's very good. We've got a wonderful venue. I'm thinking after Christmas, Boxing Day, very relaxed day. You actually want to lie on the couch. Now you can come and lie on some grassy embankments.
And hopefully, it'll be at SuperSport Park for a few years to come.
Crystal Arnold goes behind the scenes there, but out here in the middle, let me tell you, the action is very much as it would be at the start of any test match. It's not specific to Boxing Day. The South African players have been playing football, but now they're going to work towards a fielding practice. And as we swing around to the middle, we've got the 4th umpire out there with members of the ground staff. A lot of our team here, by the way, our production team, Sean Pollock and Ramiz Raja studying the pitch and working out their words for the day as it evolves. That huge roller ready to go at the top there. And just to my right, the Pakistan team are working with Azhar Mahmood, who's the bowling coach. Mickey Arthur, of course, is the coach of the side, but working with Azhar Mahmood. And as you can see in the distance, there is sort of a contraption, a shield, because it's behind that Mike Hazeman is getting ready with his various interviews. Excellent numbers already turning up here at the crowd. A good crowd developing, as there so often here is at Centurion. We're in the way here of a workout. Claude's ready to throw. Okay, so it's all action out here. Boxing Day morning at Centurion. SuperSport alive with the game we love. See you in just a moment. Welcome back to SuperSport Park. We're not that far away from the toss, so now we turn to our analysis, our preview, if you like, of what we think might happen in the coming days. Two very gifted sides. In fact, behind Graham Smith, Ramiz Raja and I, we've got Dale Steyn, who's been warming up here with Dwayne Olivier. Guys, good morning. Graham, Ramiz, are you well?
Yeah, I'm well, and you? Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Merry Christmas to everybody out there. We haven't said that yet, have we? How many Boxing Day tests did you play in whatever countries they were in the world, do you think?
There was a couple over the 11 or 12 years. Did 2 in Australia, rest in South Africa. I think eventually they realised that this is the prime time for South African season as well, and best to have the Proteas around at home. But MCG, 90-odd thousand people, I'll never forget that Coliseum type effect. We haven't quite been able to recreate it here in South Africa, but still special.
My experience of Melbourne was 95,000+ for the 92 World Cup final. That's the buzz that I'm talking about, way back in 92, but no boxing test matches.
Yeah. How hard is it to come out of Christmas celebrations, Graham, and turn it on at test match level?
I found it easier as a touring team. When we were in Australia, you're kind of more confined, you're together. It's when you're in your own country and you get family commitments and players getting pulled left and right to sort of bring the environment together, keep players focused. Considering day after Christmas, you got to play a big game. And New Year's as well. So I always found it a tough time to manage players, manage the tickets around big things, family want and this and that. So you just got to stay focused and keep everyone on their toes.
Ramiz, I guess one of the great cliches of the modern game is mercurial Pakistan. You never know quite what you'll get from your guys. We saw it recently, falling to defeat against New Zealand at home, which was a surprise. But tremendous talent, isn't there, even with Mohamed Abbas missing?
Yeah, I mean, tremendous bowling talent for sure, because they've been the best, well, statistically describing the best team in 2018.
Yeah.
Because they've got...
With the ball in hand.
With the ball in hand. Great leg spinner in Yasir Shah. You've got Mohamed Abbas. Mohamed Amir is back. He can get it to curl back with the new ball. And so plenty to look forward to. It's the batting that has let them down. It just seemed to crumble under pressure, which is quite strange, especially playing against New Zealand. They were to play out 50 overs for a draw. They couldn't handle that.
And the South Africans, how will they react, you think, to not having either Vernon Philander or Lungi Ngidi? I mean, Vernon gives them such control.
Yeah, I mean, look, Ngidi's a guy that's laid his mark on international cricket over the last year and a half. I think it's Philander that will be the huge loss, though. It's just what he brings to the environment. He allows other people to attack because of his control, his skill. Also, being able to strike with a new ball is key. The Kookaburra ball over the last period has been, gets really soft after 20, 30 overs. So to have someone like Philander that can knock someone up front, allow Steyn to run in, allow Rabada to run in, that is a big loss. And how Olafia does, he has looked in form through the 2020 competition here in South Africa. How he comes along will be interesting. I think du Plessis needs to go to Maharaj to control the game for him.
And how do both teams react to there being no AB de Villiers? Because we saw against the Australians in that big series back in March what an important impact he had, not just on the amount of runs he scored, but the way he impresses himself on the opposition and the way he lifts his own dressing room. Will Pakistan feel a whole lot more confident against the South Africans minus AB?
Yeah, clearly. I mean, he's a world-class player for sure. And, he gets the job done. I mean, he's aggressive. He's fantastic fielder anywhere. Outfielder and in the slips as well, and they'd surely be quite happy not facing up to AB's challenge in the field.
Do you think they look at the South African lineup then and think that is definitely beatable? We have a bowling attack good enough to knock them over because they don't really have the game changer they had in AB.
Yeah, absolutely. All they've got to do is to enjoy the challenge of a green in the pitch. I think a lot of Asian teams succumb to the pressure of variables like the pitch, like the conditions, like fantastic fielding that we'll see from South Africa. They've got to put that at the back of the mind, just take this as a great challenge, look out to have a good time and bowl out the opposition. I mean, they're quite capable of picking 20 wickets, and we've seen that from them even on dead pitches.
And a word on the South African batting from you?
Yeah, it's going to be a key phase, both batting lineups. I think this pitch doesn't always do as much as it looks like. Batting last can be tough here. It gets a little bit up and down. But someone in that lineup needs to perform. Du Plessis, a lot of pressure on him as a senior player. Algar and Markram up front need to be key. But it's Amna that the limelight's on at the moment. He's really struggled for form over the last period of time. Gone from being a prolific international batsman to really looking uncertain. I'm interested to see how he goes.
Graham, thank you. Rameez, don't go away. Let's head over to the other side of the ground because Mike Hazeman is with South Africa's coach, Otis Gibson.
Otis, here we go, day one of what will be an intense summer. You looking forward to it?
Yeah, very much so, It feels like the start of our home summer, the international summer, and I'm always excited by Test cricket, so I'm really looking forward to the series, yeah.
And the first Test match for 5 months. I mean, in the past, sometimes South Africa have been a little bit sluggish in the first Test at home.
Yeah.
Are you sure the guys are on the button first up for this Test?
Hazy, to be fair, the first couple of days felt a bit disjointed. The Mzansi League finished on the 16th, I think it was, and then the guys went off to play a 4-day game, which I felt was important for us to get back into 4-day cricket and the rhythm of batting in 4-day cricket and Test cricket. So we got together a couple of days ago, but we've had a couple of really good practice sessions. The one thing about this group since I've been here is that when it comes to preparation, we leave no stone unturned to get it right. And we feel like we've done as much as we can do, and we're ready to go.
And I guess the injuries to Ngidi and Philander hasn't done you any favours.
No, and again, these things happen in cricket. We've got Dewan has been bowling fantastically well, and he'll get an opportunity today for sure. And Steyn and Rabada in great shape as well. So, as far as the bowling attack goes, we still feel like we've got enough to take 20 wickets and try and win the Test match.
You've watched Dale Steyn for years. What about this record that's pending?
Look, he deserves it. He's been a champion for a long time. He's had a couple of injury setbacks in the last couple of years. We've managed him really well over the last sort of period since I've been here. He's fit. He's as fit as probably he's ever been. He tells me, and he's ready to go. I think he deserves the record for what he's done and what he's achieved so far. And I'm sure that there's more things that he wants to achieve. And good luck to him today.
Do you think you've got a surface that you guys want?
We feel so. It's got some grass on. It looks a little bit soft on the foot today, but it will harden up. The groundsman says as the game goes on. So hopefully that there's a little bit of help in there for our seamers, and our 3 seamers are probably 140 plus as well. So that will help with a bit of extra pace on the surface. So yeah, and we've got a lot of guys that play here as well. That helps.
Good luck.
Thank you.
Yeah, words there from Otis Gibson talking about the excitement of the start of the summer in his view. Let's hear from the Pakistan coach, once South Africa's coach, of course, Mickey Arthur.
Mickey, welcome back. How does it feel?
Oh, it feels great to be back. Thanks, Hazy. Just to walk out, see so many familiar faces and that, it's just fantastic. Really nice to be back here, and hopefully we play some good cricket as well.
I heard at the presser during the week you tested your Afrikaans to the amazement of your captain.
Yeah, he was amazed, but I just said it's just like when you guys talk Urdu in the change room. So I just had to check that I could still talk a couple of words, and it came out okay.
Mickey, I want you to describe your test team, your test squad.
Test squad is one that's our white ball cricket we've got going pretty well now, Hazy. Our test squad is one on the rise. A lot of young players, a lot of fresh faces, but incredible talent. Really good talent, and obviously talent in Asia. The challenge for them is going to be playing outside of these their normal conditions. But we've got a young batting group, and I'm very, very confident that these guys can play. I mean, technically they're superb, skill-wise they're superb. It's just going to be how we put it together out here in an environment that's unknown for them.
But an injury to, I suggest, your key quick at the moment has upset some plans a bit.
Yeah, it is. He'll be fit for Newlands. He's probably 80-85% ready to go here. We just wouldn't risk him for here, but we'll have him for Newlands. So that is. But we've got a good quick. I mean, we've got young Shaheen Shah Afridi that's going to play. He's exciting, 18-year-old, and then Amir comes back in with Hassan Ali. So we're pretty well stocked in that area. Although Abbas is world class.
And what about the fact that only 3 of your guys, 3 of the 16, have played Test cricket in South Africa before?
Yeah, I mean that's obviously a concern, Hazy. But it is what it is, and these guys will just be so much better for the opportunity. And I just hope the South African public see these guys' skills, because their skills are so different to what you're used to seeing. They hit balls in different areas, they attack and defend differently. So it's wonderful, and it's going to be so good for them. For these guys to test themselves in this environment is great. So I can't wait to see how they go.
I call it maverick skills of the Pakistan players. When you saw it up close, did that surprise you a lot?
The first net session, Hazy, when I saw the players and I saw the skill levels of the players, was flipping phenomenal. These guys are unbelievable. With bat and ball, you just look at Yasser Shah, you look at Shadab Khan, who's obviously not playing as our second spinner, but the skill that these guys have, swing, reverse swing, is amazing. And batting, they hit balls in so many different areas, hit the ball square, the wicket, so much more. It was phenomenal to see. What we lacked was the fitness and fielding that we've worked extremely hard on, and we're really fit and a very good fielding unit at the moment, which is great.
Good to see you, and good luck.
Always good to be back. Thank you, Hazy.
Mickey Arthur there, the South African coach. We're ready for the toss. Look at this lineup. The Lion has emerged from the African bush to be with us. David Boone, match referee, Safraz, and we also have Faf du Plessis. Here's the coin, which has it's an ICC coin with an H and a T on either side, so there can be no confusion at the toss. Right, Faf. Pakistan have won the toss.
We will bat first today.
Yeah, lovely conditions for it.
Yes, lovely condition, little bit moisture on it, but first hour is very important. So if we will get through, so we'll run on the boats.
And how do you feel about not having Mohamed Abbas with you this match? It must be a bad blow.
Yeah, definitely a very good, not setback. He's our main bowler, but unfortunately he's not available. So we have other bowlers, so hopefully we will do well.
Mohamed Amir back.
Yeah, definitely Amir is back. Good to have him.
And a great challenge to play cricket in South Africa.
Yeah, definitely we have to take challenge here. We have to play positive cricket here, so we will do well inshallah.
Okay, we wish you well. Have a great game.
Thank you. Thank you.
Batting first, you would have liked to have done the same, Faf, I'm sure.
Yeah, bat first here at Centurion. The wicket is a bit slow in the first innings, but that first hour is always quite tricky. So that's when you bat first, you've got to get through it, and obviously the opportunity lies with the bowling side in that first hour.
I was going to say, as you look at it with the way that the sort of plate cracks are and the hints of grass, you wouldn't be unhappy with the quality of your attack.
No, definitely not. It's definitely both ways. You look at the grass and you think you have to bowl first. Yeah, it's just with the heat and the cracks, day 4 and 5, it can start playing a bit up and down. But yeah, with our attack and obviously their batting lineup, you'd hope we bowl well in this first innings.
And a great bowler and a great friend of yours on the cusp of a great achievement, Dale Steyn.
Yeah, great man, Dale Steyn. Been a fantastic bowler for South African cricket, served the country for a very long time, and today where it all started for him, Centurion Park, hopefully a lot of people will celebrate that one wicket with him, and then plenty more.
plenty of injuries around for you to have contend with. What have you ended up with for your team today?
But actually, just Vernon Philander was the guy that missed out today. Obviously, someone like him would be nice and landful, yeah. But obviously, they also got a seamer down, and then just one Willifear comes in, and the batting lineup is all fit to go.
Oh, good. Temba's fit.
Yeah, Temba's fit.
Excellent. We wish you well. Have a great game.
Thank you very much.
Faf du Plessis with his thoughts there. I'm going to find Sean Pollock, actually, just to have a look at this pitch, because Sean has this vast experience. He's ready to go. I don't know what you think. Hello, Sean. Happy Christmas and all that.
To you too.
Nice to see you.
What you normally expect at this ground is slow on day one, grass cover as you've come to expect. The ball will almost be a little bit more tennis ball bouncer in terms. It'll be a bit steep, and the bowlers will try and search to bowl as full as possible. The batsmen will look to try and play as many scoring shots off the back foot because they know what the ball's going to do then, and rather not try and get out and play those expansive drives. And I think we're going to get more of the same here today. There will be plenty of assistance. We've got some good grass cover, as you can see down here. And Mark, these normally create a few divots, and as the game goes on, that can have quite a big effect. Because of the thick, dense amount of grass, it just makes a little bit of a divot and they start to misbehave. But I think it's a brave decision, but I think it is the right decision to have a bat first.
Faf made a point about the pitch later on in the game and the problem of it going up and down. Would you predict that here again?
100%. You see the cracks. They keep the grass cover in order to try and keep those cracks together. I think the only thing that's going to work in the favour of it not opening up is the fact that on the third day there's quite a bit of rain that's expected. If we have 5 days of belting sunshine, then there's no doubt that the cracks will open up and they'll play their part. But hopefully with the rain, maybe they'll hold together and be a better surface throughout.
And lastly, a question about pace, because I saw you in the mid-90s with Brett Schultz bowl very fast here. We saw Mitchell Johnson bowl very fast here, and lots of carry through to the keeper. Do you expect the same?
In those days, probably had more carry than it's got now, but it's still a nice surface to bowl on, and the likes of people like Rabada and Steyn will definitely get that ball to carry through. And I think the Pakistanis, if they find the right length, I think they'll also be a handful. 2 left-handers, which might create some footholds for the right-handers, and the googly of Yasir Shah, so that should be interesting to watch.
We'll have a look at the sides, the South Africans. Faf says he's got what he wanted, really, other than Vernon. I think he didn't mention Lungi Ngidi. He would have liked to have had him in the side, ideally. Are you happy with that batting lineup? Very difficult. We were talking about replacing AB, but you've got Tennis and you've got Temba, and it really needs a real sort of focus and ability to survive the surface against this Pakistan attack.
Yeah, it's actually changed the whole composition. I think Lungi, the reason why Faf didn't touch him, because he'd been injured for a while and it's going to be an extended period. They were hoping to get Vern fine for this game, but if both of those guys had been available, they probably would have gone the 4 fast bowling option. Vernon would have batted at 7, so that would have tinkered a lot with the makeup of the side. But I think they've still got the resources. They rested Dale and KG in the 4-day game before, but Dwan Olafir, he played and he was superb, so they're expecting lots from him.
And a look at the Pakistan side, and a real reminder of the strength in bowling. Ramiz has already said to us, the most successful bowling attack in the world this year, and Mohamed Amir back for the first time for a while, actually.
Yeah, they've got the attributes. They've got 3 fantastic seam bowlers, and obviously the spin of Yasir Shah. But I think the key for me is going to be whether they can find the length. I've often seen subcontinent teams come here, they see the ball carrying through beautifully, and they decide to maybe try and bowl too much back of a length. If they get it nice and full, I think that'll be superb and they can make inroads and really have a big impact. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they go.
Lovely, Polly. Thank you very much. We're going to take a short break with the news from SuperSport Park that Pakistan have won the toss and will bat first. Welcome everybody. The Boxing Day Test match in the Highveld for the first time here at SuperSport Park. A cloudless day and glorious conditions for Test match cricket. The toss has been won by Pakistan, who have chosen to bat first, unsurprisingly. With me are Makarantini and Michael Holding. Gentlemen, good day.
Good day, Mark.
Indeed. Thank you, Mark.
I have to say that after many years in this business, you've got us covered,
I know.
Makaya.
You got it
They
right.
are the best
Look
shoes.
at that.
They are the best shoes we've ever had on television.
What about the suit?
The suit's nice.
Thank
Class-
you.
class suit,
You're only
but
going for
shoes.
Thank you.
We're here to talk about Dale Steyn, who's on the
Yes.
cusp of doing something amazing, really, to become the highest wicket taker in South Africa's history. 1 wicket to pass Sean Pollock. He's got a chance to bowl with the new ball this morning with Kagiso Rabada. Tell us your thoughts on Dale.
No, to be honest with you, I remember the first time when he walks in. You know, he came, I was still playing with Sean Pollock as well. We welcomed him because he used to swing the ball unbelievable. You know, seeing him grow and becoming one of the greatest, you know, bowlers in the world. And then now he's standing to become #1 in South Africa. You know, there's more into that because Dale Steyn himself is a leader. He led the team in everywhere in the world. He made sure that South Africa, when he got the ball in his hand, he does something. So for me, as part of the team during that period of him, you know, I always enjoy, you know, bowling with him. I always love because we complement each other. And now he's standing to becoming, you know, the hero of the heroes.
Mikey, you grew up watching Wes Hall and Charlie Griffiths, so you've seen them all, really. Well, I mean, it's a fact, Mikey. We can't deny that
I didn't
we've
really
added.
watch them, Mark.
Didn't you see Wes at
well,
all?
there was no television in the Caribbean to see live cricket.
Right.
But I know about them, and I saw Wes Hall play 1 Test match ever in Jamaica at Sabina Park. But obviously, you grow up hearing about them. You then play with some great fast bowlers like Malcolm Marshall and Andy Roberts. So I think I can get to appreciate fast bowlers. And Dale Steyn, in my eyes, has been one of the greatest fast bowlers I've ever seen. I love his passion. That's the first thing. Fast bowlers need passion, and I love that. He also has, as we know, pace and control. And what else do you want as a fast bowler? If you have passion, you have pace, you have control, what else do you need?
He came from Northwest Province, from Limpopo.
Yeah,
He didn't, exactly. He didn't have life easy to begin with. His first Test matches, he was expensive. He had to go away and work out how to adapt to Test match cricket, to the disciplines. It took him 2 or 3 years to really make an impact. Is that a journey that a Test match cricketer needs? You have to learn the hard yards first.
Yes, indeed. Everybody goes through that period. You know, it's not a Test match is not a game that you can just walk into it and become, you know, one of those guys that can have a lower economy. You know, you grow yourself into Test match. You grow to learn and understand, you know, what you are first, and then you understand your game. So Dale Steyn, as you're saying, that he became, you know, that person who understands exactly what he needs to do, who can easily pick up the length, you know, within no time.
Yeah, only 88 matches for 421 wickets and a strike rate of 42 balls. You know, that's 42. It takes him 42 balls to take a wicket. You know, I mean, that's right up there at the top of the history of the game.
Yeah. When you see a man taking 5 wickets per Test match, Mark, that is just fantastic figures. You usually think about bowlers taking 4 per Test, especially fast bowlers. But someone like Dale Steyn averaging 5 wickets per Test match, that is fantastic. He's a great bowler, as I've said, on so many occasions, and I just love to see him bowl.
Gentlemen, thank you. We're going to see Dale out here with Kagiso Rabada in just a short while because the toss has been won by Pakistan. They've chosen to bat first in these superb conditions. So, who matters? Who are the key figures in this cricket match? Let's go to Mike Hazeman.
Yeah, thanks, Mark. I'm going to look at actually some of the situations regarding the kit, the conditions, the pitch conditions, the comparisons of the tracks they're going to be played, and also, of course, some of the techniques, some of the tactics that the Pakistan players have got to use against South African quicks. First of all, look at these aspects of the pitch comparison. Now, this is important. This is comparing tracks in South Africa versus UAE, right? United Arab Emirates, which is where Pakistan play their cricket. And I'm looking at pace, bounce, seam, and also spin as the 4 key aspects. So let's just play this for starters and look at pace initially. I'm going to pause that there because that right now is going to surprise quite a few people, because you've got a situation right here where the pace of the last few years in South Africa has only been average. I think most people would have thought it'd be around about there. It's not, it's average, but it's much better, of course, than UAE. Let's continue. and look at the bounce, and this is where South Africa win, and you can see that it's high here in South Africa, the bounce, compared to low in the UAE. And then look at seam, there's quite a bit of seam, of course, in South Africa. But this is the important thing also, and it's a situation where the UAE will have an opportunity, well, Pakistan will have an opportunity to get in the game, because spin is always going to be a play later in test matches when the bounce is a little bit variable in some tracks. Of course, this one tends to help the seamers quite a bit. So there's a breakdown of the pitch comparison between the two countries. Now let's break down and have a look at the test venues in this series that are going to be used. Okay, I've got SuperSport Park, I've got Newlands, and I've also got Wanderers to have a look at. So let's get into here, and you'll see some dots coming up. The red dot is SuperSport Park. Let's focus on that. Pace is average, below average. Bounce is also not great here at SuperSport Park. Seam, the red dot, you can see it does a little bit. And spin, you can see that there's not a great deal of spin. It's only average at SuperSport Park. And if you look at the green dot at Newlands, you can see there's some low spin there as well. So there's a little bit more spin at SuperSport Park than other venues. And Wanderers is obviously very good for its seam and also its pace, being these blue dots that we're seeing there. Right, so let's have a look at something which is a real concern for Pakistan. It was a concern a couple of years ago also, in fact last season for India. And this is Pakistan overall, a stat by Pakistan stats guru, who's very well known around the traps. 20.77 is pretty poor going for Pakistan when they're batting in South Africa. So that's not very good at all. And that is lowest out of all the countries. And that is Mazhar Asad who's got that together for us. So it slides down that scale, and therefore partnerships in histories has not been good for them. One other thing they've got to do is they're going to have to play the short ball better, because this guy, Rabada, is one of the blokes who is going to bowl the short delivery. He loves this. This is in last summer when he played against India and also Australia. High percentage of short balls. You can see there's good concentration of areas to left and right handers as well. We'll see another side area here as well, which shows that 19% of these. But the one last thing I want to show you is the fact that Pakistan's batsmen do not hook. They're going to have to make a plan against the short ball. They're going to have to work on the horizontal bat shots. They do not hook or pull, and they're going to see plenty of that, and they're going to get themselves in awkward situations if they don't come up with some sort of strategy against the likes of Rabada and also Steyn. Okay, Mark, back to you.
Yeah, thanks, Hazy. Fascinating. I mean, you talk about Rabada and Steyn at the end there. We have here a brand new kookaburra that I've taken out of Makai's fingers just because he was eagerly tossing it around as if he was going to come and bowl with the new ball this morning.
Imagine that.
Would you be happy bowling in these conditions?
Oh, without a doubt, Mike. You know, this is a fresh morning, fresh wicket. You know, I would definitely love to bowl this morning.
What do you feel about it being batting this morning?
Yeah, I mean, the first hour is going to be critical, really. I mean, first test of a brand new test series, first session, first hour. If Pakistan can stay away from losing wickets, I think they would have done a good job.
What would you look for from the kookaburra ball? Swing, seam?
No, basically, you know, when they choose the ball out of the box, you know, they look at the seam and they see if the seam can stay a little bit longer. You know, so they normally. You look at it and then feel the weight as well and see if you can be able to swing.
All right.
And then you have a guy like Delstains who can swing the ball anywhere. And then especially now, you feel that that's lightly wind. You know, it will definitely help him, you know, to get away, you know, with his away swingers.
You know, we were tutored to look for skimmer sides.
What do you mean?
On your side?
The sides of the ball. So it shouldn't be bloated. It should feel good in the hands.
Yes.
And so there were only one or two who could pick the brand new ball for us. I mean, there were specialists.
Skimmer sides.
Yeah, I mean,
it has to be
so in other words, the ball felt almost rectangle, which is ridiculous because the ball's round, of course. But I hear what you say, and that was given you were tutored by guys like Imran Khan and Makram and Waqar Younis.
Mudassa was very good at it.
Very good. He always swung it in that way, didn't it? And nipped it off the seam.
It could be very relevant as well, because if you can be able to swing the ball through the wind, you know, through the air, you know, on your side point of view, when you look at the side, is not bloated, so he's not going to be able, when he pitches the, you know, hit the deck, and then he can be able, you could see, you know, the seam coming up, straight to the wicket keeper. So.
Different balls used all around the world.
Yeah,
Australia and South Africa use this ball, the Kookaburra ball. England use the Duke ball. The subcontinent often use that SG ball, yeah?
SG in Pakistan, they use Kookaburra as well.
Do
but
they?
SG is very similar to Duke, I believe.
Hard, very hard, isn't it?
Very
With a bigger
hard.
seam on it. So what you're saying is basically, because it's a fresh pitch, because you're fresh, because you want blood, you're very happy to bowl this morning.
Oh yeah, but from the point of view of this wicket as well, I think it will be nicer to see the ball a little bit fuller, so he can be able earlier on to make the batsman, come forward early, than trying to push it in that short of the length where it can be easier to just let it go past through.
Yeah, and the challenge for the batsman would be to leave that line outside the off stump and have that dogged defense and look to make a name for yourself. This is going to be tough for Pakistan, but they've done the right thing. It's a brave move, because normally teams from subcontinent look at the green tinge in the pitch,
and then they want a bowl,
and they succumb straight away. This is a very, very brave decision.
Right. Okay. A brave decision made by Safraz then, and the answer is he's chosen to bat. It'll be a technical thing, won't it? Technique, getting stuck in behind the ball, leave as many balls as you possibly can, make it as hard for the bowler, make him bowl at you so you can knock him off a front and back foot. They're all the tricks.
Yeah, I mean,
Okay, we're going to take a short pause here.